and we are now going to be jumping on into Royal Blood, where we are going to be jumping in mid-series into this best of 3. We do have confirmation. We are now in the top right-hand corner of the map, starting all the way in the top right-hand corner with our red Zerg player coming down from the land of Russia. He is currently ahead in this best of 3, representing Team Starcom. A man of many names. You may have known him as Vanya. You may have also known him as Ratata. But for now, he is Wayne. Going for a bit of a pool first. Meanwhile, over here in the bottom left-hand corner of the map, starting all the way in the bottom left-hand corner, we have our blue Protoss player coming down from the land of France. We have, representing Alpha X, Arrogfire. Oh. Arrogfire. Now, of course, we weren't too privy as to what went on in game number 1. We're not really sure what map game number 1 was on either, but knowing Arrogfire and knowing Wayne, I imagine it was pure chaos coming out from both of our players. Wayne is not necessarily a very cheesy player. He does play macro a lot of times, but it's macro aggression, if you know what I mean. Arrogfire, on the other hand, he just kind of does his own thing. Arrogfire just does hashtag Arrogfire things. Whether it's proxy Immortals during a time where nobody's proxying Immortals and everybody's proxying a Void Rays, whether it's shield battery rushes. Arrogfire, he also plays macro. He also plays macro every now and then, but he really made his name a couple of years ago in those Alpha X Cups, those Alpha X Junior Cups, I believe, as one of the most unpredictable players in there. We do see Wayne just doing hashtag Wayne things. Tis a little bit of scouting force of Lings. If possible, he would like to delay or deny a third base coming out from Arrogfire, but for the most part, it's just here to check, make sure, yep, that wall is a wall, you're getting units, you're not going for anything too out of the ordinary. And speaking of things that aren't too out of the ordinary, yet another Stargate is going to come down. Well, I say yet another, but again, not really sure what happened over in game number 1. I guess it's just, you know, when you watch a lot of ZvPs, eventually, a lot of ZvPs that go for Stargates, eventually all of them just kind of melt together in a way, especially when they go for an Oracle first. You know, they sort of melt together. You just sort of think, yep, that's every Protoss player. They're connected by the Overmind, if I'm getting my lore right. You know, they're connected by the Overmind under Emperor Wesley Crusher of the Borg, and that's Protoss. Arrogfire will be a little bit more active with his Oracle. Funnily enough, because of the pathing, he is able to scout this massive force of Lings. A little bit ballsy here from Arrogfire to try to get a third base before that threat has been dealt with. But yeah, the threat has been dealt with, so now he can send a different probe out to throw down his expansion. Wayne, on the other hand, now has a decision to make. He knows that it's a Stargate opening from Arrogfire, and he's opting for melee. Okay, maybe anticipating some Blink Stalkers as a follow-up here from Arrogfire. It's not too uncommon from Protoss, as we already see a Twilight Council and Forge on the way. Arrogfire dips in with his Oracles. Oh, an unfortunate little bit of miscontrol over there. He will lose one of his Oracles, and he will not... Yeah, he will only get one drone for his troubles. That is unfortunate to say the least. That is unfortunate. He does have another Oracle that's going in to meet the one that he didn't lose. So he can still dive in with 2 Oracles, try to one-shot a couple of these drones, but it's already a little bit of a hefty loss here for Arrogfire. As the Oracles zip in, and the Oracles get chased away. Wayne is taking this threat very, 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 very seriously. And when it's all said and done, yeah, Arrogfire unfortunately is not able to get much economic damage. Wayne, on the other hand, is all in. 24 Lings are on the way, 30 Lings on the way to meet the 37 that he already had on the map. Baneling Nest did finish up a little bit earlier on, and he's getting some Banelings in production. He's looking to crash entirely and to bust through this wall. Oracles still have a little bit of energy on them, but not that much. Stalkers are all starting to go down to the +1. I like this from Wayne. He's being very conservative with his Banelings. That's one you know, he knows that his Banelings are pretty much his ticket to victory right now. He doesn't want to waste them unnecessarily. Oh, like that, unfortunately. All of them crash on different units and none of them on different targets, and none of them go down. Thankfully, he still has a lot of Lings, so he is still able to slip on through and cause a lot of havoc over here. But Arrogfire does have a couple of defenses. I mean, he's going to take a lot of damage, no doubt, but maybe it's the copium that I'm huffing. I want to believe Arrogfire can survive, but my copium reserves are running lower and lower the more probes I see going down, and the more these Lings just start running between base and base and base, the more I see these Stalkers really struggling to keep up with these +1 Lings. A lot of production is going to go down. Basically, 30 probes have already gone down. I don't think I bought enough copium to be optimistic of Arrogfire's chances over here. The 3rd base goes down. A lot of production goes down. This is game-ending damage. Arrogfire, he's still in this. He's still limping along, but I don't see how he can really get back ahead here unless Wayne really, really slips up, which doesn't seem too likely. He's thinking ahead already, getting his 5th base, getting a macro hatchery. Hive is about to finish up, and I think we're about to see Wayne hit his final form very, very soon. With roaches. Pretty good follow-up. Arrogfire doing whatever he can with his oracles. Again, he's not going to be able to out-macro his way out of this position, so he needs to get damage done however he can. In a head-on engagement, I don't think he'll be able to take on the army of Arrogfire, but these oracles, they can still be annoying. You know, he's got 3 of them. 2 of them are in full health. If he plays his cards right, he can decimate a Berserk economy. A lot has to go right for him, though. A little bit of a move out here with these Stalkers. Of course, this is a pretty massive risk here for Arrogfire, but you gotta do what you gotta do. He scouts the 5th base, and if he's able to take this out, then things will still not look too good for him, all things considered, but it's a start. It's a start here for Arrogfire to get himself back in this game, to get himself back on equal footing economically. Huge stasis ward is able to catch all these Lings and will prevent a massive surround on these Stalkers. I somehow have found some copium under my desk that I forgot about, and all of a sudden, I'm feeling optimistic for Arrogfire again. As a massive stream of Lings makes its way across the map. Oh, maybe this is imitation copium that I've been huffing. This is yeah, not looking too good for Arrogfire. He cannot be at 2 places at once. He is forced to recall, but the Lings are already made it through. Force field will keep them in bay for a little while, along with that battery overcharge. And he's looking to surround the Zerg army with the rest of the Stalkers. Oh, a little bit of a whiff blink, though. will mean that these Lings are still able to get a full onslaught round on top of his entire Protoss army. Arrogfire will have a slight upgrade lead shortly, but at this point, I really don't think it's going to be enough to overcome the sheer numbers that Wayne is throwing Arrogfire's way. This is some really good SimCity, but yeah, unfortunately, without a battery overcharge, I don't see how Arrogfire can really win this decisively. Wayne is backing off for now, just to make sure that he can regroup, but he is not done by any means. He didn't retreat, he regrouped. Banelings are on the way, Ravagers are on the way, and very shortly, Wayne is going to be on the way into Arrogfire's bases. Leapfrogging a little bit. This is a really good solution from Arrogfire. If he can nail the purification of us, then he'll be able to get himself back into this, but he needs a lot of time that Wayne is not willing to give him. Lings dive on top of the I almost said Overseers for a sec. Disruptors, and GG is called. Wayne takes that series 2-0. Very nicely done here by Wayne. Very, very well played. Just a really solid game overall, if I do say so myself. Yeah, just a really solid game overall from coming out from Wayne. Really felt like he was in control from start to finish throughout the entire throughout the entirety of that. It's not to say that Arrogfire couldn't. It's not to say that Arrogfire, you know, wasn't able to fight back. He was able to fight back very, very, very well. Unfortunately, yeah, he stumbled a little bit too hard